today because we're still very deep in the throes of the Philadelphia Flower Show, which is one of the biggest flower shows in the country. So a lot of my vendors, that's where they are, and they've got a couple more days and then they'll be done with that. But one of my favorites is Roxanne De Palma and Larry Nixdorf from Ultimate Innovations. They couldn't be here today, but I did want to feature their products because I've got them at 40% off. These are clearance sale priced. These are a set of 2 self-watering hanging baskets. You heard me complaining about hanging baskets in the past. You've got a nice big deep area with a drain plug, and then this little guy, and I always liken it, you know when you buy a pizza and you have that little white plastic table in the middle? It looks like patio furniture for itty bitty teeny tiny people, right? That's what that looks like, but that's just enough to keep a reservoir of water in the bottom without having to worry about root rot. So you are now doubling the amount of time that water stays in there, and that means you're cutting your watering time in half. It's a great little system, and they're really good looking hanging baskets. You get the chain on both. That chain can be shortened up to fit whatever you want, and right now I still have colors. So let me run through these. I've got the black in front of me, but I do have a brown. I've got white, and then a really pretty turquoise. The turquoise is by far the most limited at this particular point. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble. Still, to me, one of the, okay, well, oh, this is pretty cool. Somebody, I'll go back to Facebook here. Donna Holbrook back said, I've been with you since CVN, so that's been about 30 years. And she said, the funniest thing I saw was Steve Bryant and the homemade peanut butter maker. I wish I could find a video of it. He laughed so hard he was crying. All of us on the air have had bloopers of some sort. I was on the air, this is 30 years ago, with Pat James Dementry. This was in our old studios, and we were co-hosting the QVC morning show together. Now, if you do not know who Pat James Dementry is, she is the kindest, sweetest, most innocent human being on the planet. I do not deserve her friendship, but I adore her. I was on the phone with her. She's on vacation this week. I was talking to her and her daughter on the phone for over an hour last night, just laughing, just telling stories. Well, we had a toy from Mattel, and it was a Barbie toy, and it was called the Twirl and Spin Barbie. And what it was a dinner plate size circle with little wheels on the bottom. And it was a remote controlled toy. And it had a stand on it, and you would snap the Barbie doll in it, and she would have her ball gown on, and you would hit a button and it would turn in circles. And her dress would kind of fly up like she was Cinderella at the ball. Well, Pat is by nature very curious. She also has very much a one-track mind. So when she's thinking about something, she's off in the weeds. And so it was my job to present the item. So let me stand up, I'll come down here. So I had put it out on the floor, and I had crouched down like this, and I had the remote control, and it was right in front of me, and it was doing a little twirling. Well, Pat was back by the sofa, and she had a different remote control, and she was trying to hit the button at the same time. And for some reason, her pushing the button and me pushing the button sent the frequency into like override. And this Barbie started spinning in whirling dervish turns, spinning faster than it was ever designed to do. And from the centrifugal force of the 3 wheels on it, it rocked back, and one of Barbie's little arms went up in the air, and then it hit the wheel hit, and this thing shot across the set and hit me square, and hit me hard enough that it knocked me over. And I turned, and Pat was laid over the back of the sofa with her fingers still on the button of the remote control, laughing until there was mascara pouring down her face. There was probably 5 minutes of dead air space with nothing but the sound of Pat just laughing hysterically. Now, the funny thing is the Twirl and Spin Barbie, quite frankly, was not doing well sales-wise until it clobbered me, and then we immediately sold out. We had like 4,000 pieces that disappeared in the blink of an eye. I still remember that. Ultimate Innovations is a company that was started by Roxanne De Palma and her husband, still a family-owned and operated business. And their idea is to bring to you problem solution gardening ideas. Again, if you're not a big fan of having to water hanging baskets, then that's why this is the perfect piece for you. This little trough allows, again, a 1 inch, an inch and a half reservoir of water, but your potting soil in your plant is here. These holes allow drainage as well. We tend to overwater hanging baskets because they're a pain. So this keeps just a proper amount of water directly against the roots, but the roots can then pull from that reservoir and kind of self-water for you. This is really effective if you're someone who is planning a vacation for the first time in 2 years because of the pandemic. And you're finally going to leave the house and go away and maybe do that cruise that you've dreamed of, but you don't want to have to worry about your hanging baskets. There's the white. That's the black. There's only about 1,500 left in the black. There's the brown. There's about 1,100 left in the brown. There's the turquoise. That's by far the most limited, about 250 of those sets. And then I also have some of the white. Don't let these pass you by. We've had a 40% discount over what we were offering these at just at the beginning of the season. Enjoy.